So I'm going to be using the same numbers we use to look at CPI to look at something else, okay? So we use the prices that are in black and the quantities that are in purple to determine the totals and the CPIs, right? And to find our totals, we had our weighted prices, we had to keep our quantities constant so we could see what the change in prices were, right? Because when we're looking at CPI, we're looking at prices, we're wanting to hold everything constant, but the price change in 1 year or the base year's quantity. Now, if we're going to be looking at GDP, we can use the same numbers. We look at them differently. Okay, so in GDP, to find real GDP, we need to hold the prices constant in the base year and only see the changes in quantity, because that's going to tell us if we're making more crap or not, right? So I'm going to show you this, and you can rewind it a couple times, but so we'll have nominal GDP and real GDP, okay? Now, we know that under normal circumstances, to find real GDP, we can take nominal GDP divided by a price index and multiply it times 100. But we don't have a price index, but we have this stuff. So we can do another shortcut that can get us the same outcome. Okay. So if we were just doing nominal GDP, we would literally just take 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 6 is 24, right? And then this is 34. That could be our nominal GDP. And then it can be 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. That's 24. 24 plus 15 could be 39. And then this could be 18. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9. And 6 times 12 is 72. That would be 99. Okay? So you can see that if we were just adding up the prices times the quantities, this would literally give us our nominal GDP. How much crap we sold, what times the price. Okay? How much crap times the price gives us our nominal GDP. But what it doesn't give us is real GDP. It doesn't take inflation out of it. So to do that, we've got to look at these numbers differently, okay? And we'll just go ahead and we'll use year 1 to be our base year. But this time, instead of holding the prices constant, instead of holding the quantities constant, we're going to hold the prices constant, okay? So this one will be the normal thing. This would be 2 times 4, and then 2 times 1, and then 4 times 6, right? And so the real GDP would be 34. Remember, because in the base year, the real and the nominal are the same. Just like in the base year, the price index is 100. Well, that should make sense, right? Because if you think about it, if real GDP equals nominal over the price index times 100, and if the nominal is something and it's the same as the price index, if the nominal is 100 and the price index is 100, then it ends up being 100. If this is 34 over 100 times 100, then it ends up being 34, right? 34 over 100 times 100, right? So the nominal ends up being the real. It ends up being the same thing, right? So that's good to know. In the base year, nominal is always real. Now, if we're doing this year, this time, remember, we're holding prices constant and looking at the changes in quantity. So instead of being $3 times 4, when we're looking at real GDP, we hold the base year's price constant and look at the quantity. So this would be 2 as the base year times 5, which would be 10. $2 times 2, which would be 4, and $4 times 4, which would be 16, right? And you can see that we literally made less stuff here. So this would be 30. So you can see we made less stuff, right? We made 2 less of this, which was more expensive. So our real GDP actually went down. Nominal went up, but real went down. Okay? So that gives us more information. Let's do it again. We're going to hold the $2, since this is our base year. $2 times 6 would be 12. $2 times 3 would be 6. And then $4 times, $4 times the 12 would be 48, right? 4 times 12 is 48. This would be 54. This would be 64. All right, so you can see a drop in real GDP from year 1 to year 2, and then more than a doubling of it in year 2 to year 3. That's how you would find real GDP without using the price index. So if you have these numbers, you can find prices and you can find CPI and find inflation, or you can use these prices and quantities to find nominal and real GDP. All right, so watch this a couple times if you need to, but make sure you know it.